Hey everybody, it's Lindsay and it is time for my August favorites. Usually I like to do this the first of the month, so I'm way behind on this, but I had 2 weddings over the weekend, one of which I was doing makeup for, so that took up the whole weekend. And then I got really sick, so I'm still getting better. I'm feeling much better today than I did in the beginning of the week, but you wouldn't have wanted to watch me then, so I am feeling much better. So that's why this is late. I apologize for that, and I'll try and keep these on schedule. I don't have a ton of favorites this month, but the ones that I do have, I love. I mean, really, really love, and some of them are kind of old favorites that I have gone back to, or not even old favorites, but there's things maybe that I've had for a long time that I am revisiting and trying. The first one though is brand new. I picked this up this month from Sephora, and this is the Philosophy, the Microdelivery Exfoliating Lash. And I've heard great things about this. This has been around for a really long time. It has amazing reviews, and I've just been curious to try it. I use the Purity Wash every night to get my makeup off. I have a full skincare video about my skincare routine, and I will link that below, and it's basically the same exact thing, but I've just incorporated this in. At night, I use the Purity to remove my makeup before I Clarisonic, and I love that, and so I needed more Purity, so then I wanted to look into this as well. So I picked it up at Sephora, and yeah, love it. It is a face wash. I use this in the morning. It is a face wash that is just packed with tiny, tiny exfoliating micro beads, or whatever they're called. And so I originally was thinking I might use this with my Clarisonic, but after having it, I'm not going to use it with my Clarisonic. You're not even supposed to use exfoliators with your Clarisonic. I don't know if it's not good for your skin or not good for the tool, but this I just think really works better with fingers. So I use it in the morning. I kind of just wet my face, and then you have to shake up this bottle because the beads kind of fall to the bottom. And then I just scrub it into my face for about a minute, and it feels amazing. It is like a mini microdermabrasion every morning. It's just, I've talked about this before, how when I use a scrub, I want something that is just packed with exfoliators. I hate when they're just kind of mainly a gel with a couple little beads and you're pushing it around. So this is just packed, and they're very, very fine and delicate. And it's safe to use every day, so I use it every morning, and I think it's just the perfect way to start out your day, gives your skin a little bit of a flush, gets rid of any dead skin cells, and creates the perfect canvas to put makeup on. So love this, love the way it makes my skin feel. I'm still using all the other skincare products that I've used before, but just in the morning, instead of I was using my Mary Kay Time Wise, I just use that at night now. I'm gonna use this in the morning, so love that. Then my next favorite, this is something I kind of tried. Okay, I've had this for over a year. I bought this at Ulta from Ulta.com well over a year ago, and this is Sun Laboratories Self-Tanning Lotion in Ultra Dark. And this is about half gone. And I've had this for over a year, and it's something that, self-tanning is something I'm really lazy about. I like the way I look with a little bit of a tan, but I just get too lazy to do it, because especially something like this that has a tint, I don't want to go out with the tint on, and I don't want to sleep with it in my sheets, so it's kind of something I feel like I have to use, put it in the morning if I'm not going away till the afternoon, and then wash it off before I leave, so it can kind of be inconvenient for me. But the reason I'm bringing this up is actually because of something else I picked up at Sephora, and these are both my favorites. And this is a St. Tropez, the Tanning Mitt, I guess that's what it's called. Heard about this for a long time. I know, other companies have their own tanning mitt. This is just the one I happened to pick up, and I love it. I think it was $7, something like that. You put it on like this, and the black is just the back, and it's like a spongy type foam material. And then the inside is lined, so it won't bleed through. And what you do is, or what I do is, I just squirt it onto here, and then rub it onto my skin, and it's amazing. I know people who have had this and rave by it, but it's just never something I picked up. I will never use self-tanner lotions without this again. I mean, amazing. it goes on so easily. Usually I use gloves because I feel like even if I scrub the heck out of my hands after I use a self-tanner, they still kind of smell, and then the next day they kind of have a little bit of a tint, or they feel dried out. So I use gloves, but then especially something with a tint, like it just gets blotchy looking, the tint itself. And then when I wash it off, it's usually fine. I usually never have streaks, but the tint itself looks terrible. And then you can't always tell if it's like rubbing in because it's gloves and whatever. So this made it so easy. I mean, I did this the day I went to the wedding, and I was doing makeup that morning. So I did my self-tanner that morning, and I was planning on washing it off before I went to do makeup because normally the tint looks terrible, makes me look dirty. Well, because I use this Mitt, I just went and did the makeup like that. I mean, it looked fine. It looked completely fine. I could have probably gone out. I mean, so really made a difference. When I washed it off, it was beautiful, no streaks. This made it so easy. And then I washed it. It didn't get 100% clean, but I didn't want to scrub it too much. I'd rather have this last a longer time and be a little bit stained. So yeah, highly, highly recommend one of these mitts, whatever kind you get. I keep saying Mitt. Whichever kind you get. This is the same Tropez from Sephora, but you can get any kind. So then back to the lotion. I've had this lotion for over a year. I got it last summer before even getting married, and because this had become highly recommended. I did a self-tanning video so long ago, like a year and a half ago, and tried and reviewed several different kinds of self-tanners, and one of the most that became in the comments, the one that was most highly recommended from you was the Sun Labs. So I picked this up and tried it, but it was just a crazy summer, and you know how I am about being lazy with self-tanners, so I didn't use it that many times. But the couple times I did wear it that summer, it was amazing. Like, I was already tan because I was at the beach for the wedding and everything, so it just made me super tan, like look like I had been on a tropical island for a month. I mean, it looked amazing and super deep and very natural. But it's ultra dark, that's the color of it, and since it made me look so tan, I didn't use it all fall or winter or spring because I was afraid it would look orange because I wasn't tan, so I was afraid it would be too much. Well, for this wedding I was at this past weekend, I decided to pull this back out, and I had used this another time this summer when I was tan, looked beautiful, loved it. So I pulled this out this past weekend for this wedding. And I have literally had no serious sun exposure since June. We went to the beach in June, and that was the last time. I just have been, like, I've been outside and things, but not like laying out getting a tan. I have no tan. So I use this. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. And I am not as fair as they come at all. So if you are quite fair, I would definitely not recommend getting ultra dark. I would go, they have other shades. But I was amazed at how natural it looked. Like, I have never had a self-tanner look this natural and be this beautiful ever. I mean, this is hands down the best self-tanner I've ever tried, and especially now seeing it on my skin when I'm not tan. I mean, it looked exactly like my skin looks when I am in the sun. And so I like self-tanners to brighten me up a little bit. But when I have no color, I feel like sometimes it just kind of looks like a little bit of warmth on top of pale skin. And I don't know how to describe that. I mean, it's almost like a little bit of that orangey color on top of pale skin. And it's not like I look Oompa Loompa orange, but it's not a real tan look. It's just enough to give you a little bit of flush to make me feel better. And I'm fine with that. But this like really looked like how my skin looks when I've spent a couple days at the beach, and it was amazing. And so I know if I would have used it again, I'm sure it would have just deepened even more. And I left this kind of dirty for you to see. It is green. Like, when it dries, this dries very green. And I know Saint Tropez is like that. And I've tried Saint Tropez in the past, and I don't feel like it gave me much color. I'd be open to trying it again, but I'm in love with this. So this, when you're rubbing it in, it's more of a gray cast to it, a gray-green cast, which is supposed to help counteract the orange. And it smells amazing. Let me open here. Here, you can see how dark it is. It's like definitely like a grayish green brown. It's a cherry almond smell, and it smells like Twizzlers, like nibs. you know, the little nibs from Twizzlers. It smells so good. And I do get a little bit of that residual self-tanner smell the day after or whatever, but you know, I'm okay, I can live with that. But just beautiful color. So if you've been looking for something like that, definitely worth a shot. And I am just so impressed at how this looks when I'm very tan already and put it on, and it just makes me look like just native tropical. And then even last weekend when I was fair like this, like it's all kind of come off. I'm pretty fair right now. And it just looks so beautiful. So I will definitely keep using this. I have to get over my laziness because now that I have the matte, and now that I realize now that I have the Mitt, I cannot get that right. And now that I know how beautiful this looks on fair skin, I'm just gonna keep using this because it looked amazing and it made me feel great. So I think that's enough about that. If you have any questions, you know, please ask. My next thing, this is another thing that I've had for a long time, over a year. And I don't use a lot of hair products at all. I mean, I do when I'm, like I use Moroccan oil, and I've got my It's a 10 leave-in spray, but stuff more to condition. I don't use hairsprays or mousses because I really like the feel of my hair just kind of soft and natural, because it gets kind of dried out by the second day and kind of stiff. So I like to keep as little product out of it that's gonna make it get that way faster. But when I curl my hair in loose waves, you see that in a couple of my videos, I do like to spray it so that I don't just lose all the curl, and so that it's not just kind of soft and that fluffy look. And this is one thing that I really like for that. And I just looked it up, so you can still get this. And this is the Got2b Smooth Operator Smoothing Hairspray. And I think I've talked about this before a long time ago and how I didn't feel like it did anything. It says touchable styles, defrizz, hold, indulge. Okay, so it smells amazing. Oh, it smells so good. But I like, when I use a hairspray, I do like something that's touchable, very flexible hold, and this is very flexible. Like you can even call it a hairspray. So if you're looking for something to hold your style, this really isn't it. I'm barely even using it for that. More what I use it for is when I curl my hair in loose waves, I want it to be kind of more of that natural look, kind of lived-in look, not like pretty little curls and fluffy. So what I do is once I curl it and it's dry, then I kind of spray this all over and then just tousle it a little bit, and it helps piece it out, make it shiny and hold it just enough that it doesn't get frizzy, but definitely keeps it super soft and touchable, because I'm a hair toucher. I touch my hair all the time, so I don't want anything stiff. So I love it for that. Makes your hair smell good, helps define it when you've got it kind of curly. So I really like that. Excuse me. And then my final thing, I always include a nail polish, and I have to go back to kind of an oldie but a goodie. I've had this one for a while too, and it's been in at least one other favorites. I've talked about it so many times. This is OPI Red Lights Ahead Wear. Love this nail color. This is from the Holland collection. I know you can still get it. I'm sure multiple places online still have this. This is just a cream color, brilliant reddish orange. I mean, just so beautiful. It's what I have on my toes now. Every time I put this on, I can't stop looking at my nails. It's so beautiful. It's so brilliant and bright. Excuse me. And I feel like I'm not gonna be able to wear this too much longer. I mean, I could, but I'm starting to get ready for my fall nail colors, and then I'll go into winter. So had to include this. I just love it. I wore it a couple times this past month. I just can't get over it. It's so beautiful. So if you still are on the fence about picking this up, pick it up. It's gorgeous. So those are my favorites for August. I would love to know what your favorites are. I would love to know what you think of the products that I loved this month. And I'm gonna have to go before I have a coughing fit here. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. See you, everybody.